Hello Miles, Matthew here with RxSteampunkGoggles.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut prescription lenses with Transitions Brown for your new Specks of Wood. Of course, they're quality wood eyewear. Let me open up this case, and we have the Specks of Wood Zebra Trunk made out of real zebra wood. Beautiful, beautiful wood grain finish here. This is all wood, no fillers, spring hinges on both sides. This is very high quality stuff. Made in the United States, and of course prescriptions made right here in North Carolina. I have never been so excited before to carry a new collection, and this is it. It even smells good. It smells like real wood. High quality stuff. I'll show you some of their other pieces here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to go ahead and put a couple dots. Normally I would trace the entire frame here, but this is a semi-rimless frame where there's nothing at the bottom. I'm going to put 2 dots on these lenses that tells me it is a straight line. And once I have that straight line, if you missed any of that, let me recap. Oh! I know it's a bad joke. You'll be telling it tomorrow. So I'm going to pop out your original demo lens here. Oops, hey, come on now. Come on out. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to get my little tracing element. Let me get a new sticker there. Pull one off from up here. Get all this prepped. Pull that paper away. Now the reason why I put those 2 dots on there, I have a line on here, a corresponding line that tells me that is a straight line. Now you have no astigmatism, but if you did, this is much more critical and comes into play, but I make sure that the lens is oriented in there perfectly. But I'm going to take your lens, place it into my tracing platform, hit the lens. It's going to ask me what size bridge it is. It is a 21mm bridge from the corner of one side of the lens to the other. Everybody wants to know, how does the computer know what size and shape lens to cut? This is why. That stylus pops up and it goes all the way around and traces the shape of the lens. Here at RxSteampunkGoggles.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Specks of Wood frame from me, and you'll receive 1 free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. Miles, you and I both need prescription. That ship has sailed for us wearing fashion lenses. But all you did was pay the upgrade to the Transitions. Now anti-glare is also available. That is the size and the shape of the lens we're cutting if I were to overlay that. But while I'm working on it, let's go ahead and magnify it. Now your pupillary distance is 61, which is 30.5 in both eyes. My computer starts at 32.5, so I'm going to hit this minus button a couple times until we're at 30.5. I do want to raise the optical center up in this frame from where it sits. Now this blue cross is the geometric center of the frame. If you were to measure vertically and horizontally, that is the center of your frame. Your eye is just above that in inset. So we're going to come down here. Let's go ahead and get your lenses prepped. Come down here to my trusty and dusty Marco 101 lensometer. Get it zeroed out. Now you're the same in both eyes, which is very rare. You are a -4. So I'm going to take the lens out of the protective sleeve. Now I'm going to place your lens into the lensometer. Let's go ahead and put the power drum on -4. Find the optical center of your lens. And I'm going to place a dot on the center of your lens there. Now normally I would mark this right or left, but because you're the same in both eyes, it doesn't matter. Take this lens out of the protective sleeve. Do the same thing for this one. And let's put a dot on the other lens. Let's grab up all the protective sleeves and coatings and bring this all down here. Now let's go ahead and make this one your right lens. But wait, which one's the right? Which one's the right? Which one's the right? Which one is it going to be? Alright, it's going to be this one. Of course, when you're the same in both eyes, it doesn't matter. So, This is a block, or as I like to call them, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. So I need to use a double-sided adhesive sticker, of which I've got 2 right here. And the black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick one onto the first block. Let's do the same thing now for the second block. I'm going to pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Now on the back is a silver button. That is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice tonight. The first time it's going to hold it in place into something magnetical there inside the arm. I'm going to place the block there. And I'm going to place that. The reason why I put the dot on your lens is if you can see that orange crosshairs, I'm going to place that dot right there onto the crosshairs. And I'm going to take my stylus. Let me double check 30.5, 22. Hit that button and the arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. Let's go ahead and move that over there. Let's do the same thing now for the left lens. I'm going to pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line that magnet up on this side. Now if your this mirrors from the right side. If your pupillary distance was any different, I would go ahead and change that now, but it is the same. I'm going to get everything lined up there. Same optical center height. I'm going to hit this button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto what is now the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy their own. Then you can cut your own prescription steampunk goggles at home and you won't need this guy anymore to do it for you. So the actual cutting wheel is over on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away the lens material. This wheel in the center is going to flatten everything out. And then underneath here there's a little blade that's going to come in and cut a bevel onto the edge of your lens so it stays inside the bevel of that string. So now the magnet is going to do its job its second time tonight. It's going to, let me open that up a little larger. Excuse me. I'm going to place it into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it chuck. I'm going to wake up the computer. This is the shape of the lens we'll be cutting. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic, or Trivex, I would select that, but these are polycarbonate lenses. I do not want to polish the edge of your lenses. I am going to put a bevel on the front surface of the lens. I'm going to put a deeper, heavier bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. I'm going to hit this green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts. And then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around. Then the old carpenter saying, measure the twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the best cosmetic look in this frame. Now in just a moment, the spinning wheel is going to move into the center and the lens will come down. Now if you see light flickering in the background, that is water there to catch the optical sawdust as it comes off of your lens after leaving the cutting wheel. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic and high index plastic and Trivex cut wet. Now water will spray onto the back surface, back onto the lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle, just to wash away any optical debris that may be on the lens. Now as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. These are the Essilor brand of lenses. This is a premium brand of lenses. Essilor calls polycarbonate airwear because they feel they are as light as air. These are the TR, stands for Transition 7 Brown lenses. Now polycarbonate lenses are 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that have to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun, this is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now if you notice, your lens is completely flat all the way around the edges, just like a nickel. If I were to take it out now, it would stand up on the counter on its own. In a couple minutes, the spinning blade will cut a bevel on there. So its own check and balance system. It's measuring the thickness of the lens again before it touches down onto a bevel wheel, and it's going to smooth out any rough edges that may be left over from the cutting cycle. So now it's going to come down and become even flatter if possible, just to smooth everything out. Now, as I mentioned, I've never been so excited to carry a collection before. These two frames are called the Pinocchio. I will be getting one of these soon. There's no bridge like in most frames. It is a pliable metal bar that makes it grip really well. Now this is black with zebra wood. This is actually a sunglasses, but I thought it was so nice I took out the sunglass lenses and put clear lenses in there. This is a silver with a rosewood. Great round frame. This is a 47mm round lens. It is marked, it's called a Pinocchio at 43, but it's actually a 47mm lens. This one is called Uniquely Wood. Again, zebra and I think cherry or rosewood on here. I'll have to double check. I'm still not 100% knowledgeable about this collection. This actually has a hidden spring hinge on the inside. The designer Ian Rubenstein was wearing this at Vision Expo in New York in April of 2016. Recently got voted one of the best new designers at the show. All of these things are so light. That's the incredible thing. This one is called the Striped Way. Again with spring hinges. Solid wood that is dyed. Now this is unique. It actually has a metal screw here that I would loosen up. This comes apart to insert the lens. Very colorful collection even though it's made out of wood. And this one is called, based on the Aviator, this one is called Sunny Skies. And again, some very colorful pieces here, from green to beige to brown to light blue to dark blue. This looks like it's made out of a plywood. Again, has a hidden spring hinge. I believe the hinge is exposed. No, this too has it there. Of course, this is a pliable frame. Doesn't need the spring hinges. And of course, based on the popularity of the Wayfarer that you saw me wear for so many years, this one is called Murray's Ebony, made out of ebony wood. This looks to be a plywood base, so it makes it very, very strong. This has an exposed spring hinge, very, very strong one. This actually does have adjustable temples so that it can fit great. These two are solid. It either, that's the issue with wood, it either fits or it doesn't. But these things are so light as a feather, they almost don't even weigh enough to slide. Great, great, great solid wood frames. Now, okay, so this lever that has come out, of course you see water spraying, it tells me it's in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. At the end of that lever is a little spinning wheel, something you would find at the end of a Dremel tool. That's what's applying the safety bevel to the front surface, the convex surface of the lens, and is now doing the rear concave surface of the lens. If I haven't been running my mouth, I would have showed you the blade that came out. We'll do that on the next lens. The blade that comes out and cuts the bevel into the edge of the lens where I can run my thumbnail through it. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Take the lens out, dry it off. Use my thumbnail to go around, and I'm going to remove all of this optical debris. If you can see that on that light background, that is called Schwarf. That is optical sawdust. I'm going to use my thumbnail to remove all of that. Very meticulous, very OCD. I'm going to make sure all of it has been removed from the front surface as well as the rear surface of the lens. I meticulously clean every lens before they are shipped worldwide, using my thumbnail to get down inside that groove there. And once it is all off of your lens, I collect it very neatly and very carefully into one pile here on the counter, and then I wipe it on the floor. Because I remind kids, I went to school for years to learn how to make a mess like that. So kids, when you grow up, if you want to make a mess, you gotta stay in school. So let's go ahead and see if it fits into the frame. I'm going to tuck the lens in into the groove that is there somewhere here. There it is. You have to have the right tool for the job. Rarely is that tool a little 10-cent piece of plastic strapping from around a UPS package, but that's what I have. I have it folded in half. I slip it inside. Now this is roughly a 20 to 30 pound monofilament, just like a fishing line. I slip it in there. I start at the outside corner. The reason why I fold it in half is so I can grip both sides, and I move it around the lens, and when you hear it snap into the lens, it is done. I place this finger on the edge of the lens, not this finger, not my ring finger, not my pointy finger, but this finger. This finger seems to work the best. I don't know why. This finger, always use this finger when doing this. I put the finger on the lens and then I slide that strap right out. Now that one's in there. Let's go ahead and start cutting the left lens. Flip this over to L, place that into the chuck, hit start just like before. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by the two white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the lens now. And the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the best cosmetic look possible in this frame. So while that is cutting, I'm going to go ahead and take this block off. It is no longer needed. Pull that off. I'm going to come down here to my trusty and dusty, very dusty because I'm too busy to clean it, Marco 101 lensometer. I'm going to put it in just above that red dot and read the power off, and I'm getting -4. Now the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0, which we in the business call Plano, which everyone else in Texas calls a city, but it goes up in quarter increments from there. So 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, and so on till we get to -4. So you need 16 steps. You are on the 16th rung of a ladder. You need 16 steps of far-sighted correction. You are nearsighted. Without your glasses on, everything is much too large. So, like these guns, boom, boom, boom. With your glasses off, my muscles look huge. When you put your lenses on, your lenses will minify. That's why there's a minus sign. Your lens is minified down to the correct size. So when you put your glasses on and then look at my arms, they look like little chicken wings, which is what they actually do look like. So this is unique because you have the same power in both eyes. That is rare because we have 6 eye muscles. One at the top, one at the bottom, one on the left and right sides. And then you also have one at this angle and one at this corner. So, of course, you can imagine your eye looks up and down, left and right. But when you want to look inward, this muscle pulls downward. This one pushes away, and that's how you can look. If this is your left eye, you're looking at the corner of your nose, or if you're looking up there. And it's the opposite for your right eye. So usually people have different muscles. I'm right-handed, so my right arm is stronger, but your 6 eye muscles on both sides are of equal power. That is actually very unique. Same as your pupillary distance. You are 30.5 in both eyes. Your pupillary distance is the center of your pupils, starting at the bridge of your nose as a reference. So going outward in every direction, well, both directions, from the center of your bridge to the center of your pupil, you are 30.5 millimeters, which again is very rare. Now you have no astigmatism correction. There is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. That is it. It is not a disease. Astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. It is the fine-tune knob. You have one curve on your eye going -4, which is 16 steps in one direction. You're actually the same curve on both eyes, but if you had astigmatism, you would have one curve a little bit sharper than the other, or a little bit flatter. And so that's how we line up those curves that make everything nice and crisp. But your eye is exactly round. Now again, this is the Specks of Wood, the Zebra Trunk, your frame you have gotten. This frame and free prescription lens sells for $2.99. You paid $54.99 for the Transitions Brown, which brought your total price to $353.99. And of course, there's free shipping anywhere in the United States. I'm talking again. You're missing the groove being cut. There we go. There's a spinning blade. And where your lens was flat, it's cutting into the edge of your lens. Where's your frame? So it will stay inside this bevel. Let me pop this lens out. And again, to show you that monofilament, that's why it's cutting, that blade is going around cutting a bevel all the way through your lens, so it'll stay inside here. You actually have a matching bevel cut into the frame. That is metal. These are extremely high quality frames. I cannot say enough about these. There have been wooden frames out there in the past that just don't hold up. This is very well designed. The seam is so perfect with a metal rod going through here to this temple, so you can adjust the temple, and you can even adjust these yourselves at home. But very, very high quality. Each one is different. You have a dark stripe there. It is lower on this side, so it is asymmetrical. The next frame I cut from here, who knows, there could be a dark piece right here. No two pieces are the same. Each one is original. That's what happens when you use solid wood. I'm gonna get one of these. Wait till I cut this one for my prescription. I love this frame. In fact, where's my camera? Let me just go ahead and put this one on. You can see how this one looks on me. And of course, the Great Temple, this thing is so lightweight. Hopefully you can see that better. There we go. And that's what it looks like. This is the lighter color. This is the darker color, the black. Put this one on. Very cool look. Round is the new square. Now this is the one that the designer was wearing at the show. Uniquely wood, 2 pieces of wood, that straight beam, this metal rod going through here to support it. Great, great. I wish I could see what I look like without my glasses on. You can see the sides of the frame there. Let me rotate and do this side. The two-tone color. As I mentioned, the designer Ian Rubenstein, I believe it is, based on my bad memory. If my memory was any worse, I could plan my own surprise parties. Let me go ahead and take this lens out, dry it off. Let me use my thumbnail again to wipe all of this off. This is called Schwarf. Let me use this to dry it all off. I'm going to eliminate the counter. I'm just going to drop it straight onto the floor. Ooh, that's a good piece. I love it when it comes off in one long piece. That's like when you clean your dryer duct and it all comes off in one piece. The lint trap in the dryer, I should say. Use my thumbnail to go all the way around that bevel. Part of the reason I dropped this on the floor is that if anyone comes over, if you have a messy lab, people think you've been working. That's how I can fool people that way. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck the left lens in this corner into the groove. Using this strap folded in half, I grab the string, tuck it in at the outside corner first, slide it towards the nose, and when you hear the snap, it is inside that bevel. Again, using my favorite finger, I place it onto the string and slide that out. So if you're at a dinner party and anyone else's grooved rimless comes out, just grab a strap or a ribbon and you can fix it. Your MacGyver moment, and everyone will be so impressed with you. Go ahead and pull that sticker off, come back down here to the lensometer, put it in above that red dot, and don't even have to move the thing. And I'm measuring -4, so that is made perfectly. Your pupillary distance for both eyes is 61. Actually, I'm going to need this. Turn the card around, place my PD stick against my thumb on your right lens. When we hold it up on the left, we're getting 61 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. Now, when you get these in the mail, Miles, and of course, there's a very small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I am no different. Of course, that's when you get these in the mail. And did I mention free shipping anywhere in the United States and its territories, its colonies, its outposts? But I'm going to get these in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter. That side is up a little higher. Let me go ahead and adjust that for you. There we go. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and I set them on the counter, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. Let me put mine back on so you can see what I'm doing. For those of you keeping score at home, I am wearing the Gucci 1119 in color M14 for now until I get my own specs of wood frames that I have ordered. Let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing. Flip this over, press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. Same amount of tension on each spring hinge. Now this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate them in my transitions box, meaning that I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. I'm going to place them in here. Now as you can see, all transition lenses will get dark on day one. Give them 2 weeks of exposure and they're going to continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks until they reach their final hue. Now it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken, a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now the only time they will not work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays, so your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun all day. Now if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, or if you're on a blimp, they will darken, just not behind the windshield of a car. Now they're also temperature sensitive, meaning that they will get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. So that is the first time they've been activated. Miles, don't worry, they're going to keep darkening. Come on, we talked about this, don't you remember? But that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching. If anyone has any questions, just email me at rxsteampunkgoggles.com or simply click the Contact Me button on the website. Miles, I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut prescription Transitions brown lenses for your Specks of Wood zebra trunk. And hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to steampunk goggles. Thank you.